How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. This time for this new episode for this series is going to be my review on the 2024 psychological thriller, and that is Trap. This is the latest film by writer and director M. Night Shyamalan, and this tells a story where we follow a father named Cooper, played by Josh Hartnett, and his teen daughter, in which they attend a pop concert, only for them to realize that they have entered a dark and sinister event, because in all honesty this whole concert is in fact a trap, because the people are finding out that there's this serial killer known as the Butcher, in which he's going to be there, and so they're trying to lure him to this concert, and so they can hopefully capture him. So that's pretty much the story of Trap. Now when it comes to M. Night Shyamalan movies, they can either be hit or miss, and I don't think like any of his most recent films will ever top as The Sixth Sense, since that still is his best work. And in recent years, for some of his movies, they mostly rely on twists, in which for some of his movies, like the recent ones, they do have unique concepts, but when they come to some of his twists, they can either come off as either goofy or just forgettable. But as for me going into this movie, of course, I was really looking forward to this, since I am a massive fan of M. Night Shyamalan, as I've mentioned before in some of my previous videos that I reviewed of some of his movies. And so I did see this film on opening day in my area, which was the 9th of August, although it came out a week before in the US, which came out August 2nd, but again, we just didn't get this until a week later. So I did see this on opening day with a fair amount of people on the screen that I went to for this movie. And after seeing this whole movie here, I would definitely say this is definitely M. Night Shyamalan's other film I would put in the middle here, just like some of his other films, because I overall had a decent enough time here with Trap. For the overall acting in the film, like Josh Hartnett, who plays the main lead in the film, I thought he was pretty solid in this movie, and he was able to pull two sides of his character pretty well here. Like, there are times where we see him as this happy dad, where he's like, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, like that in the movie, and he was pretty solid for those moments. And there are times where we see him as this, like, creepy psychopath, because as we've seen in the trailers, he is in fact the serial killer, the Butcher, and I really liked how he was able to pull off that side to his character pretty well here, because he is really creepy when we see him as the serial killer, the Butcher. And as for everyone else in the film, they were all pretty solid for their performances, and including M. Night Shyamalan's daughter herself, Saleka Night Shyamalan, in which she plays this famous pop singer, Lady Raven. She was really good in the movie. And I also liked her songs that she performs in this film, in which she wrote herself for this movie. And as for its overall concept of the film, it is pretty unique from the mind of M. Night Shyamalan, even though it does follow the titular essence that we've seen before in other M. Night Shyamalan properties, like the twist, in which when it comes to the twist for the film, it happens very early in the film, but I also did like how it represents some moments that I did not see coming. Like, there were a few of them that were very unpredictable, but yeah, I really enjoyed, even though there were a few of the moments that I did feel were pretty I felt were pretty predictable in this movie. And as for its storytelling, it is a pretty straightforward story once the film opens up. But I did like how it represents a few hints along the way once the film does go later down the line in the film after the twist. And as for like the other characters who were in the film, some of them do interact with this film, and it did left me curious of like what was going to happen to some of them, for like whether we're going to go for its story, even though there were a few of them that just kind of felt left out from where they were started at, because we see them at the very start, but it just doesn't go anywhere else. And as for the third act of the film, I did feel the third act of the film was pretty weak, because I kind of felt like it went a bit too longer, and there are times where I felt like the film would have ended already, but it still kept going on, and that's another issue I did have with the movie. But overall, in the end, guys, Trap was overall another decent work by M. Night Shyamalan here. But if you're overall a huge fan of M. Night Shyamalan, or you're a fan of the actor Josh Hartnett, I would say this would definitely be a cup of tea here. So that's pretty much all I have to say about Trap. I'm going to give Trap 3 out of 5. Like I said, this is definitely another M. Night Shyamalan film that I'll put in the middle here, alongside some of his other movies that I put in the middle as well here. But I am still looking forward to seeing what he's going to be doing next in the future here. So, yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After I Saw review on Trap. And let me know what you think of this movie, if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked this out. Did you had a really good time with this, or was this not really a cup of tea? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.